What's up, YouTube? I'm back with another banger. Before this video gets started, make sure you like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, follow me on Instagram, TikTok, get your popcorn because this video is about to be a banger, man. In today's video, we're going to be reacting to the entire school caught me gooning. What the hell is this, bro? If you're going to do that shit, bro, don't do it at school, bro. Like, why are you gooning at school, bro? Really? Seriously, bro? Gooning at school? Like, you're up to no good, bro. At school, bro. You deserve to get caught for that shit, bro.
Atlanta. If trading and investing has
You're a fool. You're a fool, bro. Like, come on, bro. It gets to a point, bro.
And I was watching Gervais's video about his school catching him being a gooner. And towards the end of the video, he says,
It's not that embarrassing compared to some other stuff like people getting all naked and masturbating in the school bathroom.
Look, I can explain. Back in 7th grade, I was 13 years old, and I'm not gonna hold you, I was already pretty gooned out. But that's not too crazy. What 13-year-old boy isn't gooned out to some degree? Well, apparently—
What the fuck do you mean to some degree, bro? Yes, it's a problem, bro. What do you mean, bro? Nobody's doing that in school, bro. You can't wait till you get home or something? Like, why are you in school doing that, bro? You need to think about something else, bro. Think about your motherfucking class, your homework, bro, your grades, bro. You're failing. You're failing your grades, bro.
Not my classmate David, who the story begins with. David was a short little kid who genuinely might be, to this day, the human being I hate the most in the entire world. David was this kid who shared English and lunch with me, but he would only ever talk to my friend group because he loved nagging my best friends. Most of the time, me and my friends hung out at my place, and David knew to stay out of that. But anytime the hangout was anywhere else, David was always like, "Let me join you guys, let me join." And I know it sounds like I'm just hating on a normal dude for no reason, but my own friends would tell me that all he ever does is talk shit about me for no reason. And did I forget to mention, he's ultimately the reason why I'm gonna get caught gooning in school. But before that, one random day at lunch, I hit my breaking point. My entire friend group was just trying to talk about some normal shit, like what games we're gonna be playing when we get home. But David's sorry ass just had to put himself in the conversation and start talking about how he has the best grades out of everyone at the table. And mind you, all of us are stupid as shit and we know it. Nobody was even talking about grades. I can't remember exactly how things escalated so far, but one thing led to another, and before I know it, I called David a bitch with a capital B straight to his face, because he's a bitch. And that was possibly the most satisfying experience any human being could ever have, aside from maybe that first shot of heroin. Unfortunately for me, after lunch ended, we had our English class together, where David did not hesitate to tell our teacher what I did. Now mind you, in 7th grade, I was a pretty good student. I had decent grades, but most importantly, all my teachers thought I was an angel. They loved me. So when my English teacher heard what I did, she looked at me as if she was betrayed by Jesus himself. And I felt deep in my soul, my life was already over. She took me outside the classroom and asked if I called David the B word. And I just looked her dead in the eyes and said, "Yes." My hatred for this dude was so intense, I couldn't even pretend to pass up on a chance to hate on him. Needless to say, I got suspended, but not just any kind of suspension, I got an in-school suspension. And this is unfortunately where the gooning would happen. This was my first time getting in any form of big trouble at school.
Hey, boy, oi, oi. This is the craziest. I'm starting to act like this is crazy.
So I had no idea what to expect. All they told me was to show up to school on time the next day and report to room 237, a number I will never forget for as long as I live. I'm thinking,
Not
maybe
only are you gooning in school, but you're gooning in in-school suspension, bro. You don't think that's insane?
just gonna put me in the sped class for a day or something, but my god, I could not even begin to fathom what they did to me that day. I showed up to room 237 and it was completely empty aside from one desk directly in the center of the room, and a man who I could only assume was the supervisor of this room. He was tall and skinny. He kind of looked like a creepypasta creature. He told me to take a seat in the most monotone voice possible, and when I did, that's when it hit me. There were no posters, no whiteboards, no books. There was nothing in this room. It was literally just my desk and him. So I asked him, what would I be doing here? And he said until the entire 8-hour school day ends, I would be doing nothing. No talking, no socializing, no phone time, just isolated in a room with SCP-1.
Okay, this whoever created this and crafted this, they need a ass beat. Sick stuff, man. That made me lose my train of thought, bro. Like, what is this on the screen, bro? Get this shit off my screen, bro. Straight up. But no, on a real note, if you ever had in-school suspension, you know that's how it is, bro. No phone, no laptops, nothing, bro. You just gotta sit at a desk. And that's it, bro. That's literally all you get. Like, you get your paperwork, your schoolwork, your school assignment for the day, and you gotta sit at an isolated desk facing the wall, bro. That's it. Nothing else, bro. It's probably the most boring experience you will ever experience in life.
73 reincarnated for
This
8
is sick, bro.
hours straight. Now, admittedly, I didn't think this was going to be that bad. But as time went on, and more time went on,
It's
the
that
boredom
bad,
was
bro.
beginning to consume me. I could have sworn 2 hours passed, but when I went to look at the clock, it was not even 10 minutes that went by. That's when I knew this was about to be the worst day of my entire life. But little did I know, it was about to get so much worse. As 2 hours passed, I was able to contemplate literally every single decision I've ever made in my entire life, and that's when I was finally saved by something I least expected. My math teacher came over to my room, and not only did she talk to me for like 2 seconds, those 2 seconds felt like I was drinking water after being stranded in the desert for over a week. That's how badly I needed socialization. And she also gave me a math test. Usually this would suck, because I hate math, but my brain was finally going to get some sort of stimulation. I was probably the happiest anyone has ever been to see an algebra expression. This math test was so good for my mental health. I literally began to panic as I realized I was finishing the test. It's not like I could think any slower to solve the problems, but I managed to keep the pencil on me after I finished the test, and whenever my supervisor was not looking, I would literally write out random ass algebra expressions on my desk and then solve them, just to have some form of mental stimulation. And it worked so well too until my supervisor caught me and took my pencil. So now I'm like 4 hours in, with still half the day to go, and I'm starting to hallucinate, man. I'm seeing shit that isn't even there anymore. I could have sworn I saw Optimus Prime railing the shit out of Bumblebee on the wall, but deep down, I knew that had to be fake, because Optimus Prime is a bottom. And I even had another vision.
Stop.
Where SpongeBob was murking everyone at my school, and when he came to my room, he told me he'd only let me live if I could do my best SpongeBob laugh. And I almost in real life hit some.
Just you.
Like, yo, you got
building
some
your app.
you got some strange memes up in this video, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I literally had to close my eyes and shake my head around to stop seeing things. And this is when I decided to go scorched earth. This is when I would make the biggest mistake I've ever made in my entire school career. I decided to use my one bathroom break I had for the entire day and head to a bathroom far from room 237. Not only a bathroom far away, but a special bathroom. A bathroom for handicapped kids. Because unlike the normal bathrooms, which are just stalls that anyone could peep into, the handicap bathroom was a single room bathroom that had an actual door to it that locked and nobody can peep in at all. This was when I decided against all odds, I would have some relief and get in a quick goon session.
Bro, no, bro. What made you want to think that, bro? You're gross. You're sick, man. You need to get it together, bro. What made you want to do that in school? You're in school, bro.
Well, I pull out my phone and AirPods from my pocket and start getting to work on literally the first thing I see, because anything would have done at this point. And to be honest, I'm not a standard when I do this kind of thing. I usually have to be lying down, but like a country girl, I just had to make do. And I did. I was enjoying life for a solid 2 minutes. All I needed was 5 more seconds. Nothing could have ruined this moment. Everything was perfect. And just as I was about to...
Yo, those knocks sounded real, bro.
My nuts shriveled up at Mach speed. What the hell was I supposed to do? I couldn't even think properly. I was mentally castrated the entire day, and here I was physically castrating myself in this bathroom. In a moment of panic, I stayed silent and kicked on the toilet a bit so the person outside knew there was someone in here, and then I waited a few more seconds before flushing the toilet, then washing my hands, and when I opened the door, I couldn't believe my eyes. There was a kid in a wheelchair with his adult attendant pushing him. And I really have to stress, this kid in the wheelchair, who I'll call Teal, wasn't just someone who had broken legs and was rolling himself over. He was full-on Stephen Hawking paralyzed.
Look at you, bro. Look at you, bro. Hogging up the bathroom to do all this extra shit, bro. And somebody actually needed to go use the bathroom while you in there gooning, bro. Wasting your time, bro. Beating your little meat, bro.
Needed someone with him 24/7. The guy from SpongeBob in all the bandages. That is basically Teal. And I just stole the handicap stall from him. They both looked at me with such an insane amount of disgust. It felt like I might as well have put Teal in that wheelchair myself. And I was just trying to get my nut off, man. But here's where the real story starts. Because right now, my only crime is using the handicapped bathroom as a completely able human being. But what I didn't realize is that my phone was still on, and it turns out Teal and his attendant both saw what I was watching. And I'm not gonna hold you, it was some really freaky shit. You know, I'm not really the type of guy to get into the stuff I'd be gooning to, but for the sake of the video, I feel like I gotta throw y'all some type of bone. So I will say that at the time, I was very into Super Mario Odyssey and Dead by Daylight. And no, that's not a joke, that's actually a real hint. But anyways, as soon as I put 2 and 2 together and realized what was happening, I darted out of there before either of them could even say anything to me. Unfortunately, despite Teal's circumstances, he has a pretty big social circle, and it did not take long after that day for me to start hearing rumors about a kid he was gooning in a handicap stall. Now this kid was unnamed, mostly because Teal did not know this kid on a first name basis, but the legend of the handicap stall gooner spread like wildfire throughout my entire school, and I was too ashamed to ever admit to anyone, even my closest friends, what I did. So if my friends are watching this video, which I know you are, surprise!
Handicap stall gooner. Bro. Yo, I'm out, bro. Like the video.